we may recognise some cast members from previous years, and we can confirm that their ages have been quite reasonable with their rates this year. It's been a privilege working in this cast, and all that remains to be said is Namo Shivaya.
Oh! Hello.
Hello.
How are you?
I'm
Sorry for staring at all your furnishings and staring at you. You see, my name is Santosha. I love the decorations. Is there any particular reason for these decorations? Christmas! Oh, Christmas! Christmas! What's that?
It's something that you smell, and then on the first day, Santa comes and gives you lots of presents. And snow falls down and ice.
Snow, Santa, presents. Wow.
Ice.
And ice, don't forget the ice. Wow. Christmas, the incarnation and the celebration of love. Wow. You see, tonight I'm actually going to tell you a story about love. My father, he was a childhood friend of Lord Krishna. And he, Krishna, was Lord and love personified.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. O light of the universe, O infinite being, prostrations to you. May you bless all and bring happiness to all. Om.
May I introduce to you my father? This is Sudama. And Sudama is a Brahmin. Does anybody know what a Brahmin is? Well, let me tell you. A Brahmin is somebody who is a part of a priestly caste. I'm very proud of my father. You see, he was a Brahmin of complete and true devotion. He's one of the members of this priestly caste who's responsible for actually spreading knowledge of a spiritual nature and making sure this stays alive in our society. As I said, I was very proud of him. You see, true devotion and also a part of his land.
Krishna Govinda, Hare Murare,
This is my mother. Her name is Sushila. Very happy usually. You see, she has a big heart and always a smile and a kind word for everyone. But you see, life hasn't always treated her too kindly. You see, we were extremely poor. Uh-oh. I think tonight she's a little upset. Very gentle she is, but sometimes she has an iron will. Well, Dad, if you respect your peace, you better make it up to Mum. Well, I think I better make myself scarce.
Ah, my dear, there you are.
Yes, here I am,
Are the children asleep?
finally.
It gives me great joy to see the moon on a night like this. It seems to me the Lord pours all his love and blessings into its beautiful silvery light.
Marvellous.
Nothing the matter, my dear.
Oh, why would you think so?
Oh, I see. I understand. You must be very hungry. I am very sorry that again no food came to us. I was given a few copper coins today when someone heard me reciting the scriptures. But then a poor man asked me for them, so I gave them away. Perhaps I should have kept them for our family. But the Lord's ways are very mysterious. Sometimes the Lord comes in the form of a beggar. How could I refuse?
You do not understand at all. Don't you know me better than that? How long have we been married? Have you ever heard me talk about my hunger going without food? I do not care about my hunger. I'm used to it. In fact, I love you all the more for your kindness heart, but which would never accept money unless it comes to you unasked. I appreciate that you will give your last bit of money to the needy. And I appreciate your willingness to give whatever you have to the needy. So do not talk to me about your hunger or even my hunger.
But what then is the matter?
Oh, maybe our children. It took me 1 hour to get them to sleep. Not because they were too tired, not because they were too engaged in play. Do you want to know why? Because they were so hungry. Their little stomachs cramped with pain. Because again, there was no food. Somehow, I coaxed them to sleep by singing to them. But then they had to lie on the cold, bare floor, shivering with cold. Because this hut is so drafty. And you have not one blanket to give them to cover their poor little bodies. Oh, I cannot bear their suffering anymore.
So what do you want me to do about it?
I do not want to compromise your integrity and take up some certain living, but to compromise and take a living in some awful way. But you could take a visit to a certain childhood friend of yours.
You mean Lord Krishna?
Yes, Lord Krishna. You told me again and again that you studied with a great sage study party. And you told me that you became the dearest of friends. And as you served your guru, and you sat with him while taking your meals. I'm sure Lord Krishna would be very happy to see you, to pay a visit, and he will give you and help you happiest with your friends, your family, what you need.
Oh, no doubt my charming Krishna is most charitable. Why, he is the light of the whole universe. I would like nothing more than to throw myself at his feet, to see his charming face one more time, to listen to his sweet, melodious voice.
family's needs.
Shame on me, approaching the Lord of the universe with such a petty demand. You see, Krishna is not my childhood simple friend anymore. He rules over the prosperous city of Dwaraka. He is royalty now and lives in a beautiful palace. Look at me, an emaciated Brahmin, a bundle of bones clad in torn rags. How can I dare approach him? He who is dressed in the finest clothes and surrounded by the mightiest of men.
Yes, indeed, Krishna is the Lord of the universe. I also heard that he is the incarnation of goodness and compassion. I also heard that he's fond of the pure and generous people. I'm sure Krishna will not mind and not judge you for your shabby clothes. And he'll be happy to give his childhood friend the basic needs for his family. So go. No, let's not worry. I tell you what. Here, have a glass of this nice water. Drink it slowly. And see, it will make your tummy nice and warm and happy. Is that better?
But I'm also cold. Can I have a blanket?
Oh, don't worry about a silly old blanket. Come into my arms and sleep here. Your father and I will warm you with our bodies. Keep you warm.
Now say your prayers to the divine little one. Devotion to God will appease the hunger of the soul and envelop you in the warmth of divine love. Sleep happily in the lap of God, my little one. Do as you say, dear. I will visit Lord Krishna.
Thank you.
I cannot go empty-handed to him. I need to bring him a gift.
Let me think about that. I will think of something. Now let's go to sleep. It's a long way, a long journey, and it's a long way to Dwaraka. We'll have to be up early. Sleep well, my dear husband.
May the Lord protect your sleep. Om Namo Narayanaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. May peace prevail on earth this night.
Well, you've met my family, and that child there who was crying because they were hungry and cold, well, that was me. You see, for many of my early years, I thought that having a meal was actually drinking water because of my previous mother. Well, they fell asleep, and then the next morning, what happened? My father woke up because he was so looking forward to meeting Lord Krishna. Also, my mother quickly went over to the neighbours and begged them for some beaten rice. She then got the beaten rice and gave it to my father. And this prepared him for his long journey.
excuse to stay close to me, to keep an eye on me. She thinks I will run away and get into some mischief.
You're right, my lord. And aren't you known for it? Both the running away and the mischief. Your poor mother. She had to chase you all over the yard, I heard, and tried to swing for you if she wanted to have a single moment of peace.
Will you fetch a string for me too?
Oh, I don't think so. After all, who needs the strength when you have a perfect plan?
Well, I admit it was fun watching my mother chasing around after her little boy, but I was too nimble-footed for her.
My lord, you are the eternal cosmic being, without beginning or end. How can anybody ever comprehend or even catch you?
Well, she managed to bind me in the end.
Indeed she did. She and I had the same weapon to conquer you. My blessed Lord is called love and devotion. You allow yourself to be caught when someone gives up his ego and surrenders his heart to you.
What can I do? I can kill demons and conquer the 3 worlds, but I'm helplessly bound by the love of my devotees. They give up everything for my sake. No one is dearer to me. I cannot escape their affection. But tell me, Princess, are there any other points on your list of complaints? What other mischiefs am I accused of?
Seriously now? You attempt to play the innocent card? Let me think. Number 1, incorrigibly stealing butter. Guilty or not?
I admit guilty. You see, the love of my devotee is sweet, pure, and melting with love like butter. How can I resist stealing it and keeping it with me forever?
Of course, how could you resist? Let's move to number 2. Snatching up the clothes of unsuspecting girls, partying everywhere, and hiding them in a tree. What about that?
You've caught me there again. You see, but you must know, those girls were highly evolved yoginis. They were almost self-realized. Their last obstacle being their identification with their sense of modesty. By leaving them unclothed, I helped them overcome their identification with their bodies.
My lord, you are too glib for me. Just as no one could grip you by the hand after a butter theft, because your hands are all slippery with your favorite booty, my best argument slip away when sparring with you. So I'll just keep quiet and let my friends speak for me.
Kindly go to the gate and see if there are any visitors wishing to see me. Especially Brahmins. I'm very fond of Brahmins. They spiritualize the whole country.
Very well, Master.
I think I can see someone coming. But they're really dirty. And their clothes, they're all tattered and torn. How can this man, this excuse of a human being, think that they can come and visit my master who's so beautiful and cultured? I can't believe how quickly my journey has passed. It is such a long way to Dwarka. It seems as though I just left home only hours ago. Oh, my sweet Krishna, my charming lord, in just a few moments I will see you again. Will you take me by the hand and embrace me lovingly? Will you whisper to me in your sweet melodious voice, oh Sudama, oh friend, I cannot take it any longer. Krishna, I have to be with you.
Sudama, is that really you?
Krishna, my beloved
My
lord.
beloved friend, my dear childhood companion, how happy I am to see you. Come, let me introduce you to my beloved consort, the Princess Rukmini.
Revered princess, kindly accept my humble greetings.
Come, sit by me. Is everything well with you? It is so long since we were together in the ashram of our revered Guru Sandipani. But you must be married now with children of your own.
Yes, my lord, I have a very caring wife and 2 well-behaved children. But my dear Krishna, I could never forget your charming face.
Do you remember those days, the old days, how we used to bathe in the river together?
And how we studied the scriptures side by side under the guidance of our guru.
And do you remember the day that the guru's wife sent us into the forest to fetch firewood? And we got caught in a thunderstorm and lost our way?
How could I forget? We climbed a tree that night, cold and frightened. Spent the whole night there.
And the guru got up the next morning and went searching for us and didn't stop until he found us. He was so touched by our devotion to him, he blessed us profusely.
Oh, Krishna, I could never forget those childhood days.
Neither will I. But you must be exhausted after your long journey. I will have a bath prepared for you so you can relax and refresh. And then we will have a feast to celebrate our reunion. But tell me, my friend, what have you brought me as a gift? I'm sure your wife will have sent something for me.
And how could I possibly offer this humble food to the Lord of the universe, who is served by the goddess of wealth?
Well, dear friend, what have you brought for me? Remember, I will accept anything, however humble, as long as it is given with love and devotion. Ah, I see you have brought me something. It's been very well done up, I can say that. What it is. Ah, beaten rice. You remembered my favorite snack.
Please follow my maid servant. She will show you the way to your bedroom and the bath.
Go, friend. We'll come back soon so we can have our feast. But tell me, dear princess, why do you prevent me from eating any more of his beaten rice?
My lord, by accepting the first handful of Sudama's offering, you already blessed him with untold prosperity. If you had accepted the second handful, all the wealth of the universe would be his. I am the incarnation of Lakshmi, goddess of wealth. I would have been forced to leave you and be with him. My lord, you know, how can I bear any separation from you? But no, Krishna, why were you so eager to snatch this bundle from him?
Well, do you remember the story that Sudama and I were lost in the forest after a thunderstorm? Well, that morning, the Guru's wife had packed a small bundle of beaten rice and given it to Sudama as a snack for us both to share on the journey. When we were passing the night in that tree, Sudama stealthily ate all the rice without sharing. And his resulting karma was that he became very poor in later life. Now that he's made this offering to me, this cycle of his karma is broken.
My compassionate Lord, always so keen on the welfare of his devotees. Sudama's days of poverty are certainly over. Now, let's go and serve your friend a hearty meal. He looks hungry enough.
Well spoken, princess. Make sure there's plenty of pure, fresh butter included in the meal. Otherwise, I will be tempted to go and steal some somewhere else.
though I've almost reached home. I was not aware that I'd already covered such a distance. But then, how could I have been concentrating on the road when I have just been in the company of Lord Krishna and his gracious consort? I am so glad that I did not ask Lord Krishna for any wealth. I was ashamed that that had been the original motive for my visit. And Lord Krishna also did not offer me anything, knowing in his infinite wisdom that wealth only creates attachment and is the enemy of devotion. It seems as though I've taken the wrong path. It's my hut. I recognise the scattering of boulders over there, and the big tree on the right. I can't see my home. Why, it appears to have transformed into this beautiful palace. What is the meaning of this?
Father, you are home. Look at my fine new clothes. And I'm not cold anymore. And my tummy is so full from the many nice meals I've had. Potatoes, stuffed eggplant, fried rice, and pudding.
Now, sweetheart, let your father have a rest on a strenuous journey. Why don't you go into your room and look at the beautiful pictures in your new book?
Okay, but Daddy, Lady, you have to come and play with me.
Welcome home. How are you? How was your journey? I'm very happy that you're with us.
Greetings to you, my dear wife. I had the most wondrous of all journeys. My dear, I saw Lord Krishna. Words are not enough to describe his great beauty. He is like a streak of lightning against dark clouds. His eyes are liquid pools of love, his voice as sweet as honey. Oh, how he instantly recognized me and embraced me, not caring that his princely robes got all soiled by my awful rags. He had not forgotten a single incident of our time together, and delightedly accepted my humble offerings of beaten rice.
Husband, you are indeed blessed.
We are indeed blessed. Krishna is the wealth of the soul and the fullness of divine love.
Well, somehow we woke up in the morning and our hut disappeared, and we woke up in this gorgeous palace, full of treasure. It looks like Krishna somehow knew of your situation and helped us anyway.
O Krishna, O kind and compassionate Lord, how fathomless and unconditional is your love. You care for every devotee. The moment your devotee takes one small step towards you, you run to him and give him the shelter of your divine love. Om Shri Krishna, glory to Lord Krishna.
And there ends the story, the deep story about love, and about the connection of the human with the divine. No longer is a family hungry, or are they cold. In fact, Krishna not only fed their bodies, but also fed their souls. It's quite inspiring, actually, to see how my parents dealt with their wealth. In fact, they gave most of their wealth away simply because they thought that this was a gift from God, and they had to distribute it as God's instruments. May you all celebrate today this wonderful festival of Christmas in the true spirit of unity and love.
Thank you very much to our wonderful actors, and a very special thank you to Sivananda, who directed the play. How many rehearsals did you have, Sivananda?
Oh, clearly there were plenty of rehearsals.
The main one was today. So now we continue with some Christmas carols. We have some sheets. So we can distribute the sheets.